Redican and Schumann still running 1 and 2. Schumann a little bit closer to Redican on the back straight with half of the race complete. Schumann tries to look a little bit at the inside, but they're running the early cushion. Not much there, but a little bit of a groove. As the white flag comes out, Schumann's going to cross over underneath Redican between 1 and 2, but the car drifts back out to the outside and plays follow the leader as they come around this time for the checkered flag. It's Redican with Schumann on the challenge, but it looks like Redican's going to pull it off. The checkers are out. Redican wins it. Schumann is second. Meyer is third. And pulling off quickly because he is fourth and will have. We like to wave your hat. If you haven't got one, the Cap Doc from Cerritos will sell you one. Wave your hat as they come around your program, something they can see. Watch them. They'll be waving to you with their right hand coming down the front chute. They love to see the crowd out here, and they're excited to go for 30 laps of racing. And we should be able to go green. Are you ready? Are we about to have fun? 15,000 horsepower about to cut loose out of turn number 4 on the green. Here they come down the front chute. And in the lead, it's Oski. But going around the outside, Sweeney's going to take the lead away right away. Sweeney taking the outside. Looks like Kirby dropping back out of turn number 2, trying to hold his line, but he lost about 6 positions as Sweeney takes the lead. And we got a car doing endos up out of turn number 3. It looks like Redican. Redican got some air. He flew that car from 3 over to the middle of the turn. Most of the flips were in the air, which is good. Number 1. Schumann also stays to the inside of Sweeney. We've got a couple of races going on out here. The Schumann-Sweeney battle up front and the Mealy-Williams battle right behind it. Here comes Schumann to the low side of the racetrack out of turn number 4. Trying to catch Sweeney. He wants him. Let's see if he can get him going into turn number 1. Sweeney stays up on the cushion. Schumann stays down low. Takes the 3DB car side by side out of turn number 2. Headed up the back straight into turn number 3. Who's it going to be as they come up into the north end of the racetrack? Here comes Schumann again to the inside of the racetrack. They race out of turn number 4. Sweeney holds on to the lead. Schumann is still running second. The battle for third belongs to Mealy, with Williams trying to run with him again out of turn number 2. And look who is right behind Williams. It's Eddie Worth. Out of turn number 4 again. Here comes Schumann. Schumann and Sweeney down the front straight, headed into turn number 1. Schumann stays on the inside of the racetrack while Sweeney runs the outside line. And Schumann's going to make a run at him this time at the north end. Here they go, setting up into turn number 3. Sweeney stays out. Schumann's going to follow him this time. He's going to stay out there. Let's see if Schumann waits for another outside move. McSpadden has passed 2 more cars. He should be up at about 8th now. 8th is Kirby, 9th is Atherton, and 10th is Kennedy. Again, Schumann stays down underneath Sweeney. We're in lap number 19. Schumann chasing Sweeney up into turn number 3. Headed for turn number 4. Smoke coming out of DiDonato's car number 57. Schumann continues to follow Sweeney around the racetrack. And Eddie Worth trying to shorten the track out of turn number 4 and hold off the charge of Jerry Meyer. And right behind Meyer is McSpadden. Here come the leaders into turns 3 and 4. Out of 4 they come. Watch Schumann. I'm waiting for Schumann to make an outside move right down the fence. If he can stay with Sweeney, watch for him to go to the outside and come right down the wall. The race is on the front straightaway with Sweeney the leader, Schumann running second. Rip Williams is a lone third, followed by Worth in 4th. Meyer is 5th. And still in 6th is McSpadden. Now into traffic, and that's what Schumann likes. Sweeney's in traffic. He's right behind Alan Wexler on the front straight. The move-over flag is displayed, and Sweeney goes down on the inside, and here goes Schumann. I told you that's what he wanted. He wanted traffic, and he waited for Sweeney to make the move on Wexler, and he went underneath both of them. Sweeney comes back on the move, but here's some more traffic as Schumann gets blocked a little bit coming out of turn number 4 by Giardina, and Schumann gets the nose of the car in there and stays underneath. Sweeney tags in the backside of Schumann. He got himself sideways, and while he corrected, Schumann drove away from him. Schumann is now the leader with Sweeney running second. Giardina is the lap car with Williams running third. 24 laps are complete. 6 laps left to go in a barn burner. Schumann is the leader. Sweeney is second. Williams is third. Worth is fourth. Meyer is fifth. And in sixth is McSpadden. Running seventh is car number 78 of Bob Mealy. And running eighth is Kirby, and ninth is Walt Kennedy, and 10th is Zabinski. Leader Schumann out of turn number 2, up the back chute. We have 4.5 laps left to go with Ron Schumann the leader going into turn number 3, and traffic is going to come in again. And look at Leland McSpadden going around the outside. McSpadden coming around out of turn number 4, and he gets around Jerry Meyer, and Eddie Worth is moving around Giardina, and McSpadden's right behind him, and Jerry Meyer tries to stay in. McSpadden makes the move and stays right behind Worth. Into traffic, out of turn number 4, here they come. Schumann gets around Hawkins and gets a lap car between himself and Sweeney. Now he goes to the outside. Giardina's in front of him, and Sweeney trying to use it, and he slipped a little bit going into 2, and Schumann gets around the outside of DiDonato. Got a slow car. It's Wexler leaving the racetrack. Schumann in traffic. And following Schumann is Sweeney. They both are taking traffic together. Schumann now getting around underneath Singleton, and Sweeney did not make the pass. Schumann has one more car in front of him before he gets some clear racetrack. Here they come out of turn number 4. That's Atherton right in front of Schumann. Let's see what Schumann can do with the redhead. He goes down underneath him into turn number 2, and Atherton's going to stay in it, but Schumann does a wheelie and comes on out. The white flag is out. They're coming for the checkers. Schumann sets up, coming out of turn number 4. The checkers are out, and Ron Schumann wins it. Sweeney is running second. Third is Williams. Fourth is Worth, and up to fifth is McSpadden. Sixth is Meyer.
Yeah, it really was. The racetrack was awful good, and anytime it's just packy all over, it's kind of easy for everybody to go wherever they want and it's fast everywhere they want to go. So it's hard to really pick one fast line and go for it. And luckily, I was working pretty good on the bottom and good on the top. And we got the last part, I could run them down the bottom pretty hard.
Well, you were going through traffic pretty good until you got to Sweeney. It looked like it was going to be a real tough one, and then I noticed it looked to me like you laid back a little bit and waited for the lap track.
You're getting a lot like Otto. You're getting where you know a lot about this stuff all the time. I wasn't going to just drive right by him. He was too fast, so I had to wait for the lap car to slow him up a little. And luckily the lap car slowed him up, and I got a good line on the bottom on the right end of the racetrack. You know, just a luck deal. I wasn't going to just drive by him, and I was on the bottom of the America. I just moved up the top and waited until we got to the lap car until things went right for me instead of him.
Well, Ronnie, the weather changes from week to week, and so does the track. And what does it take to hook up a car like the way you did? Do you guys rely on experience, or?
Well, we actually, you know, tonight the racetrack's so heavy and nice and wet, and it's not ledgy, it's not dry, it's not dusty. It's just about perfect for the main event. Now it's a little wet early. We just didn't hook the car up quite as hard as we usually do for the main event. It's just about right.
Ron, before you got into the last traffic, you got where you wanted to be, how many times did you think about the outside move out of there for?
That was in my mind, because Sweeney was kind of running on the cushion and trying to get off of it a little bit, and that was getting a little slick over there. And that was one of my, that was in my mind a little bit, but hopefully I could get him on the bottom of the lap car. Luckily that white lap car ran the top, the same lap he ran the top, and I could get to the bottom. I was pretty good on the bottom.
We will give those reserve seats on your way up. Also tonight, much more activity here at track. So be sure to join us. That's exciting racing. Takes place on the quarter mile and some again, we're going to have Chuck Gurney come in. Ron Schuman's going to be driving a rigid tomorrow night. And then the guys that have been doing all the action throughout.
You guys picked out, I can't believe you guys picked out that I ran hard for about 5 or 6 laps underneath him, and I wasn't going to drive by him, so I just let him rest a little bit. We'll just think he's got a little breathing.
I'm sitting there like you said, sometimes it's nice to be lucky, right?
If not,
Ron, you had to work for this one a little bit tonight.
yeah, the racetrack was awful good. You know, it was real wet early. It was too wet early, and the racetrack was a little narrow and greasy. And you know, the last 10 or 15 of the main event, it had 2 real good grooves, and it was a great racetrack.
And Sweeney got to start on the outside front row, and you had to go to work.
Yeah, I you know, it sounds cocky to say it now, but I other than getting hung up behind, I think I ran 5th for about 4 or 5 or 6 laps, and other than that, everything really went the way I wanted it to. I figured I'd jump into about 3rd on the start, and then pick 2nd, and then go to 1st, and I really felt good tonight for some reason. I guess I had a twinkle in my eye or something.
Well, we saw you while you were trying to get up there to get close enough to Sweeney. The lap traffic or the slower traffic in front of you kept you from getting there, and he got a tremendous lead. Then a yellow came out, and you got the opportunity to get right back on him, and then you could go to work.
Yeah, definitely. The yellow was a big part of the race because if I had to just run him down, I don't know if I'd ever caught him. He was doing a good job up on the top, and I was doing real good on the bottom. I could really run hard on the bottom. I ran hard down there and tried to pass him for 4 or 5 laps, and ran wheel to wheel and showed him how to race without ever hitting anybody. And then I moved back up behind him and just waited for a lap car and hoped that it got in his way and not mine.
You deliberately worked him into lap traffic and had him, you got the opportunity to put him where you wanted him, and you made a quick move and took the lead.
Yeah, that's an easy way to say it. I mean, it didn't work. You can't say that, on the 15th lap you say, well, this is how it's going to be. I mean, you hope this is how it's going to be. And luckily the lap car got in his way and not my way. And the next lap car we went by, it kind of got a little bit in my way. So, I mean, it was lap traffic has played a lot of what's happening at this racetrack this year.
And it helps you in the points lead. You're still out in front, but Sweeney finishing right behind you, so it doesn't change that much.
No, I mean, like I said, if you're not 125 or 150 ahead going in the last race, anything can happen because it's a 100-lapper. And I think if he made a clean sweep, he could maybe get 112 points. And, if I start the race, I get 30 or something. So you got to be, 80 ahead or 70 ahead, to have any kind of breathing room at all. So it's not over by a long ways yet.